Tom Pidcock has just become the Olympic mountain bike cross-country champion. The wheels he's riding are built with these flexible, untraditional string bicycle spokes. And apart from them being lighter and stronger than carbon, it gives the wheel another characteristic that may be even more important in off-road and mountain biking. Earlier this year, I had my own set of wheels built with these spokes at the custom wheel builder in the Netherlands. In this video, I will show you how they're built and why they're so special and probably the fastest wheels on the planet.
Here we go, Paris 2024, final lap of the men's cross-country mountain bike race. Oh, but it's Koretsky! Koretsky goes straight past Pidcock. Pidcock attacks from the outside, they nearly come together. Koretsky's bobbled nearly off the bike.
This is how the spokes...
This is the beginning of the wheel.
This is the beginning of the wheel.
Have you ever seen something like this? Like a handful of spaghetti. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be back.
How are you?
Very good.
New bike day?
New bike day, new wheel day. This is Mark. Last time I was here, he checked out a set of road wheels. Today we're going to talk about something completely different.
Let's talk some wheels.
So, custom wheel building is basically what your business revolves around, but can you explain why it's so important or why there's such a market for custom wheels? Because when I, as a consumer, go online, I've got so many brands and so many different options per brand to choose from and to order. Isn't everything already available?
First of all, that raises the question, do you know which wheel to choose?
The lightest and fastest wheel.
They all make the lightest and fastest wheel. The thing is, once you start looking for wheels, you get in the world of marketing blah blah.
Yeah.
They all tell you their wheel is the best and their is the best for your needs. But individual riders have individual needs. What's your weight?
80, 82.
Okay. I'm 100 kilo and maybe we have a rider of 50 kilo. Your bike in size S, I have the same bike in size XL.
And they have the same wheels.
And we still get the same wheels.
Yeah.
But that's a world apart. The wheels are the most important part of any bike. They're your contact with, with the world. They determine your riding quality, the grip levels you will have, rolling resistance, everything.
And how long have you been building wheels for now?
Oh, over 30 years.
30 years? Is that a lot different from 30 years ago?
Oh,
and
yeah,
now?
it's massive. Back then, wheel building materials, especially rims, spokes, hubs, it was a completely different world back then.
Yeah, now everything is carbon and
Back then, the wheels were falling apart all the time. And I'm a mechanical engineer, so I was looking at the wheel construction and said, okay, these I cannot change my weight because I was I was more ripped than now, but I cannot change the weight, but I can change the construction. Wheels. So this is how I got into the world of wheel building, and I've been building wheels ever since. We started to do it professionally about 14 years ago. 6 years ago we moved to this facility.
And this is a super nice shop, guys. It's like a kid going into a candy store.
It's the candy store, yeah.
Yeah, everything is high end, I see here.
Yeah.
Is everything also super expensive?
No, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised because we import everything ourselves, straight from manufacturers.
Okay.
It actually makes the price very, very competitive in comparison to any standard wheel. With this shop, we wanted to give all these nice brands a good home and get an honest answer. Well, is this expensive hub the best solution for what I am going to do with it? So my question to you is, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Tell me about your adventure.
Cape Epic, the most difficult, extreme mountain bike race, I guess.
It's going to be brutal.
In the world.
It's long days and you're going to be tired and it's going to be challenging.
I've been watching some videos on Cape Epic to sort of do my research. I think it's going to be very rough on the bike and on the components.
Yeah.
I see guys having a lot of flats, mechanical issues, breaking wheels, literally breaking their wheels in two. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm racing it. So I'm not gonna go there to finish. I'm gonna race it. So we're looking at top 10 as a goal.
Let's talk about what you're gonna need.
Okay.
And what solutions we have in store for you.
Rims.
Rims.
This is always the first step.
It's always the first step.
Okay.
Most important part of the wheel is actually the rim. Most people think it's a hub. It's not. But that's another story. You see a lot of rims here.
Yeah.
There's always the question what kind of tires you're gonna ride,
Yeah.
and in what width.
Okay. We've got the Mescal for drier conditions, and then the Barzo in the front maybe for wet conditions. I got advised to use the sidewall protected
Yep.
tires
You should.
to prevent punctures. And then the width is 2.35 inch.
Yeah, that's 60 millimeters. We'll ask for a wider rim, so we go for 30 millimeters internal.
Okay.
This is the rim I would like to recommend to you.
Okay. And what brand is this?
Tailwind.
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 So what is Tailwind?
Tailwind is our own brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Wheeltech brand.
It's a Wheeltech brand. During the years we had a lot of experience with all sorts of carbon rims. Actually visit China and Taiwan mostly twice a year.
This is in Xiamen, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've been to Xiamen. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of carbon production. So I know the big brands make their wheels in China, most of them. So this comes from the heart of the
Carbon
industry.
Of carbon industry.
Yeah, I see a lot of different rims in this rack, so there's a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Why do you recommend this rim for me and not the one next to it, which looks very similar?
We have a few options, but we also have to consider your 80 kilo. This is not 60 kilo. It's also not 100 kilo. You're going to use them for Cape Epic. You want something a little bit more durable than an ultra light rim.
Right.
These are still crazy light.
Yeah, they're really light.
They're
But they,
really light.
I can't have them breaking, so
Yeah.
the lightest option for me is usually not the best. This is the rim.
This is the rim.
What's next?
Normally we would talk about hubs now, but actually I want to show you something else. We're working with some spokes you've probably never seen before.
I checked it out. It's quite. I'm really.
That's something
curious.
else.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
that's for sure. Spoke Valhalla,
The spokes.
200,000.
200,000 spokes.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many different?
Well,
spokes?
first of all, the different length, right? Obviously, if you have a shallower rim, you need longer spokes. If you have a deeper rim, you need a shorter spoke.
Okay.
We like to work with 1 millimeter increments, and of course we have different kinds of spokes, right? This is a CX Ray.
This CX Ray, which
CX-Ray.
sounds very familiar. A lot of brands use this, right?
Yeah, it's an aero spoke, and it looks exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
It's got the same profile width.
Yeah.
But feel it between your fingers and you notice
This
one is much flexier than that one. This one is 0.9 profile thickness. This is a 1.1 profile thickness. The difference is only 0.2 of a millimeter.
Millimeter.
0.2 of a millimeter, and you can hardly see it.
Yeah.
But actually it's 20%. So you can imagine if we build your wheel with 28 of these spokes or with 28 of these spokes, it's going to be a difference. But these are not the spokes we're going to use.
Oh. These are secret drawer. What is this? This is like a shoestring. What kind of material is this?
This Dyneema.
This
It's extremely strong. It's stronger than any of these
You
steel
say
spokes.
It's strong, but it's also very
It's very flexible,
fluffy.
right?
Yeah.
But when we build a wheel, obviously there's going to be a lot of tension.
Yeah.
And a spoke only needs to withhold pulling forces.
Right.
What this spoke will do for you is it will filter the high frequency vibration, so it will be a lot more comfortable, and it will give your wheel much more radial compliancy.
Say what?
What is radial compliancy?
In such rough terrain as you're going to encounter, you want it to be able to flex vertically.
Okay. When you hit a bump.
Yes. And the ability to do that is called radial compliancy.
All right. Okay.
And these spokes are very special because they won't transfer the radial load up to the middle of the wheel, so you feel the dampening effect of these spokes.
Okay. I've never seen this before.
They're very special, yeah.
Am I gonna be a guinea pig using this?
No, it's actually not new, and it's tried and tested. Even every spoke is individually tested before before it's packed and shipped.
What is the brand actually?
Berd.
Berd.
B-E-R-D.
So this video was actually recorded at the beginning of this season, so before we even knew that Pidcock would be riding these Berd spokes and win the Olympic gold medal. Besides him, the bronze medalist was also riding Berd spokes, and the women's gold medalist Pauline Ferrand-Prévot was also riding wheels with Berd spokes. But it's been out there for years. The mountain bike marathon world championship last year was won by Enrique Avancini, and he was also riding Berd spokes, mainly because of the dampening abilities of the material.
The absorption of impacts and vibration was much better.
So it's out there, but it's not very common yet.
This is a wheel which we are assembling for next week. This is how the spokes...
This is the beginning of the wheel. Like a handful of spaghetti. How does this work? Because this
has a loop, and on this particular hub, it's got this little spoke rod, and it's pushed through the loop, and then we pull the spoke.
Because normally this is for a straight spool spoke.
Yes.
It's a normal hub.
This is a normal hub.
All right.
This is one example. This is the same hub, but in the classic or J-bend version.
Okay.
But it's actually not what we're going to use for your hub.
Ah, this looks very different.
Yeah, this is basically a hooked flange, and this is how we're going to attach the spoke to the hub.
Okay, and then but that's this side. The other side, I already saw it has this. It's metal until this part. Is
yeah. Obviously, it's like a piece of spoke. It's spoke thread, because we need the thread to thread a spoke nipple.
Yeah, and you need to be able to adjust it.
Yes, the dynema actually goes around it.
How is this fixed?
It's like a Chinese finger trap. The harder you pull,
yeah,
the tighter it's gonna be.
Okay. And where would be the limit of a spoke like this? Is it ever gonna break, or how strong is this?
It's stronger than steel.
What's the brand of this hub we're gonna use?
Erase Components in Belgium. It's light, it's very durable, it's very strong, quite special. They always use titanium for the free hubs. 60 points of engagement, so you have very fast, instant engagement. And Erase makes these nicely new development with the hooked flange, especially made for the Berd spokes.
So in contrary to, for example, this hub that you can use with a normal spoke, this is only for Berd spokes.
Only for Berd.
So it's very specific. We've come to the moment where we're going to actually build the wheels. What is the difference of building a wheel with these Berd spokes versus any normal regular spoke?
Well, first of all, they're very flexible, so that's a difference with the steel spokes. The steel spokes you can actually put in the hub and then start building from there.
Yeah.
And with these spokes, we build one side of the wheel first.
Okay.
Then we flip it over, and then we build the other side of the wheel.
And then these are with the hooks. You can just hook them on.
Yep.
Is that very different than from the straight pull hubs?
Oh yeah, totally. This is actually quite fast, and if we build them with the spoke rods, that looks like knitting.
It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra work.
It's a big difference for you as a builder. Is it also a big difference for the wheel at the end, or?
If something breaks, you get cut or damaged, or your chain falls behind your sprocket and you damage one of the spokes.
Yeah.
Repairing one of those wheels, you can do it by yourself, right? We will give you a spoke repair kit
to take it with me.
To take it with you.
Yeah.
And this is actually quite easy to you just hook them on, put them on,
and then
tension it up, straighten your wheel, and off you go.
Is there different patterns of spokes you can use?
Not really. On a 28 hole, we will use the 3 cross, 1, 2, 3 cross, and on the if it's a 24 hole wheel, we use 2 cross.
So this counts as 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
I don't understand yet how this would be the next thing, because in the road scene we see the whole market changing to carbon. There's a few initial brands that started using carbon spokes. Now you see the big brands using carbon spokes.
Even we are starting to use carbon, but carbon is not always the best solution.
This is mountain bike specific.
Yes.
Is that the difference? Or why?
Yeah, we recommend this on gravel bikes, mountain bikes. For a real hardcore race bike, you want aero. These spokes are not aero.
Not aero. Why are you not advising me to have deep section rims? Because it's more aero.
No, they're not light enough. That's rotational mass.
Yeah.
And when you accelerating, decelerating, braking, and you need to do a lot of steering, you want your wheel to be as reactive as possible.
Yeah.
And that's only possible if the gyroscopical effect of the wheel is as low as possible.
Yeah.
And that's mass, especially on the
outside.
On the rim.
It's like the moment of inertia that we talked about when I was here 2 years ago, and we saw that it depends on where the weight is distributed
the weight
in the wheel.
distribution.
Where on the road bike the aerodynamics are really important.
Yes.
On the mountain bike it's more about
You can have deep section all you want on your mountain bike, but as soon as you
Tires.
put a 60mm tire on it, your aerodynamics will go out of the window. Tension up the spokes.
And how tight are you tightening them?
80 kilos at the moment. Then we're gonna stretch them. We're gonna squish the wheel with the squisher.
Say what?
With the squisher.
So it's starting to become more like a real wheel. How long will it take you to build a wheel?
Oh, from start to finish, about an hour and a half. Now you are here, obviously.
Yeah, I'm distracting you every 10 seconds.
It's gonna be a longer process, but
Yeah.
I think it's nice to see all the different steps that we.
Like playing a harp. What are you doing?
Well, it's to determine which spoke I should use. Like here, for instance, if you look at the clock,
Yeah.
well, see, it goes out of whack.
Yeah.
So we need to pull it to the left-hand side. But we can do this in a number of ways. We can use this spoke, or this spoke to pull, or we can loosen this spoke or this spoke.
Yeah.
We can blindly do it, and it will give the right result, but then you will get spoke tension differences.
Okay.
So first we determine if there's any spokes too tight on this side.
And you do that by
Right
ear?
here, yeah.
Okay. So the
So
higher the frequency, the tighter the spoke?
The tighter the spoke.
Okay.
It's just like a guitar string.
Yeah. Just low. Very low.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. This is lower than the other. So I turn it,
Yeah.
listen.
Ah, yeah.
That's much more like it. If you come in for a job,
You need to have good ears.
we test this. So yeah, now we're only, each increment is like 1/10 of a millimeter.
One
So
tenth
1/10
of a millimeter.
Yeah,
So
this is what sideways.
it's very straight. What is your tolerance normally?
Everything within 1/10.
1/10 of a millimeter.
1/10 of a millimeter. Basically now the wheel is more or less dished. It's straight.
Yeah.
It's round. Spoke tension is equal. It's around 80 kilogram force at the moment, so 80 kilos of spoke tension in each spoke. But there's still some stretch on these spokes, and we have a protocol to squish the wheel and to basically stretch the spokes up to the final length until
Okay.
there's hardly any stretch.
That's a difference, big difference with carbon or
That's
steel spokes.
Yes, that's a very big difference. So we're going to take the wheel out. We're going to put it into the squisher, around 288 kilos of force on it.
All right.
So we're going to squish the wheel. You will see it deform
Yeah.
like really big. But
Okay.
I'd like you to try and deform this wheel
Ah, by
just
hand.
by hand. Just push on the.
It doesn't move a lot, eh?
No, this is why we need a pneumatic squisher.
Yeah, because I'm pushing it pretty hard, but nothing moves.
Nothing moves. So, and this is quite different from what we normally we would press on the hub flange.
Yeah.
But with the Berd spokes, we want to push on the spokes.
Why?
Because otherwise, if you push on this side will go completely slack.
Oh.
Basically, what
Yeah.
we do now is we'll push this one slack and we will pull on these spokes on the bottom.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to completely go slack. You want to basically stretch both sides at the same time. So here we are on like 5.6 bar, and that's 288 kilos. You'll be my timer. The first stretch we're going to do is going to be 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So you can.
Okay.
Okay, now we wait for 2 minutes.
Now you wait for 2 minutes. Okay. So
1 minute 37 seconds later.
this is one of the specs of a Berd spoke, that it does stretch up,
Yep.
but it is super strong. How
Yeah.
strong and stiff? How does that work? Because I'm confused now. If it stretches, it's not very stiff,
But-
or is it?
What it basically does, it goes up to the end of the
Stretch?
of the stretch. Yes, but then it's still very, very strong. It's not that you get to a breaking point like with the steel spoke.
Hey, that's
we
it.
go.
Okay.
We flip it around. Yes.
2 very boring minutes later.
So we went back to around 55 to 60 kilos. Now we're gonna turn
Tension
the
up a
tension
bit,
it up to
again.
110. Rinse and repeat.
And then you do it 3 times in total. What I
Yes.
see in this.
Yes, the final tension should be around 100 kilos.
Is that depending on who's riding it? Because this one says.
No,
100
not
kilos.
really. If you would be a lot heavier, we probably go to 32 spokes instead of 28.
Ah, okay.
But that's a lot heavier.
and that makes it
Even for myself,
stronger.
I'll build them all with 28 spokes. It's
strong enough.
always sufficient. Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna leave you to it. I want to thank you for today because we learned a lot again about building wheels and especially about these amazing Berd spokes. I can't wait to ride them. So I'll be back next week to pick up the bike and these wheels.
Yeah, we have them ready for you to race. And
Thanks.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Bye bye.
And this is the end result. Black on black. Tailwind rims, Berd spokes and E-race hubs. They don't just look good, they're super light and they deliver grip, stability and a lot of comfort. These wheels have survived my biggest, most brutal challenge ever, the Cape Epic. 8 days of intense mountain bike racing in Africa. If you want to see more about these wheels, the information is in the description and click up here to go to my full bike check video and of course those race videos. I'll see you there. See ya! Yeah, buddy! Woohoo! Whoa! Me!